Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has stated that his administration supports a Russian-backed peace plan with neighboring Azerbaijan, one day after Russian President Vladimir Putin noted that a competing US proposal envisages Yerevan recognizing Baku's sovereignty over Karabakh. Pashinyan is set to travel to the Russian city of Sochi on Monday for another round of talks with Putin and presumably Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev, though Aliyev has not yet confirmed that he will be participating in the summit. Pashinyan added that in the beginning of September, the Armenian side gave its consent to work on the basic principles put forward by Russia to establish relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and Armenia is ready to confirm this in Sochi, he said. Pashinyan and Aliyev most recently held talks at the beginning of this month in Prague. Their latest three-way meeting with Putin took place last November, also in Sochi. At a parliamentary Q&A session earlier this week, Pashinyan reiterated his administration's hope to reach both a peace treaty with Azerbaijan and a separate border delimitation deal by the end of the year. In a wide-ranging speech at the annual Valdai Forum outside Moscow, Putin noted that a competing Western peace plan envisages Yerevan recognizing Baku's sovereignty over Karabakh. Putin stated that a peace treaty is needed, but the question is which option to choose. The Russian president added that this is a matter for the Armenian leadership and the Armenian nation. In his address, Putin also placed blame on Armenia's past and present leaders for the country's disastrous defeat in the Karabakh War 2 years ago, saying that Russia had previously put forward a plan where Yerevan would cede control to Baku, 5 of the 7 districts surrounding Karabakh that Armenian forces controlled, in exchange for retaining control over Karabakh and the 2 other districts. The Armenian leadership chose its own path, Putin said. Putin's remarks yesterday were among his most explicit public comments to date on ongoing efforts to normalize relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan. His suggestion that a competing US peace plan involves Armenia ceding Karabakh to Azerbaijan comes amid a growing rivalry between Russia and the West over influence in the region. Recent developments suggest Moscow is trying to reassert its role in mediating between Yerevan and Baku, after appearing preoccupied for months by its full-scale war against Ukraine. Meanwhile, the week after Azerbaijan's unprecedented attack last month on Armenia proper appeared to have prompted deepening diplomatic engagement in the region by Brussels and Washington. In Karabakh, a rally will take place in Stepanakert on Sunday, one day before the Sochi summit. Demonstrators will protest once again against Karabakh coming under Azerbaijani control, regardless of the outcomes at Sochi. In other news, the Collective Security Treaty Organization, a Russian-led military alliance, has said it will convene a special session today to discuss possible steps to assist Armenia following Azerbaijan's unprecedented attack last month. On the first day of Azerbaijan's assault last month on 36 Armenian towns and cities, Pashinyan formally appealed to the CSTO for help, but the alliance pointedly declined to send military assistance to Armenia, despite treaty obligations. The CSTO then dispatched senior officials to Armenia to compile a report on the situation. The CSTO's so far lackluster response to Azerbaijan's attack has prompted unusually harsh criticism of the alliance in Armenia, with Armen Grigoryan, the influential head of Armenia's Security Council, telling Radio Azadutyun days after the attack that Armenia's expectations have not been met. Referring to the CSTO's swift and decisive response to mass civil unrest that shook fellow alliance member Kazakhstan in January, Grigoryan added that there was such a hope that the CSTO would react similarly in Armenia, and naturally that hope has been dashed.